This is the third in the set of 3 healings called the April 2024 triplet set, and the theme is family boundaries. Specifically, family boundaries, learning and change. And then later on this month, we'll be doing the twin set, which will be family boundaries, enjoying your life. Slightly different focus. And I have to pull up. Pull up some. Hopefully you are letting me know if you can see and hear me okay. Your comment, but yet I will in a moment. All right. Well, there we go. So let me know if you can see and hear me okay. I'm still waiting for confirmation. Oh, good. Thank you so much. Good, good, good. All right. So, what are we going to do in today's healing? The surveys helped me as usual, so thank you very much. And I noticed that the second healing and the first healing helped people a lot. A few people had negative things they were going through, negative symptoms, but it was due to different people attacking them in their lives, but actually not because of the triplet set, just for the theme actually. So that's good. They try to minimize backlash from other people, but it doesn't mean that all of a sudden everyone you know is now peaceful and respectful at a spirit level. I wish it didn't mean that. But anyway, so if you ever have distinctly negative symptoms during a triplet set or a twin set, try not to assume like, oh, this set is rough for me, like that it has something to do with the healing and the techniques, unless you check with me. But I mean, generally a healing and the techniques, they're not going to give you an upset stomach or make you feel overwhelmed and all that. It's going to be the opposite. So you have something else going on and it's good to deal with that. So surveys, that's part of why I have surveys. So anyway, most people had good results from the healings. And a lot of what benefited people, it broke down into, I mean, the biggest thing that benefited people, I think, was ironically one of the simplest, which was removing family devices from some sibling or grandparent or parent in the top and the bottom of the astral body aura layers and physical body aura layers, but we only did it in 7th layer and 4th layer because that's where a lot of them are. But this time we're going to do them in all the layers of the physical body and astral body auras, because those are the 2 that have the 7 layers. So we're going to do up here and down here all the 7 layers. We're going to remove family devices from family members, which I'll just call family devices. They limit what you can release and what you can bring in, which definitely limits, the changes you can make in your life, and how present you are, all that stuff. So, the reason I was surprised that it benefited people that much, because I do regularly unblock the top and the bottom of those auras, but it looks like the reason that this was such a big deal, what we did, 2 days ago, removing the family devices from those areas, is because a lot of those family devices are more subtle and they don't cause like a traffic jam of energy that I would notice as a block. So it can be like a screen, like a fine, very fine screen, like a hard metal object, but very delicate, And so it's not creating a traffic jam. It's just preventing certain things from coming in your space or from releasing from your space. But if there's no traffic jam, then you kind of have to look for it to be like, oh yeah, there it is. Because it's not creating a big blockage right there. It might create a queue up above that you can't bring in, or, it'll make you more stagnant because you can't release enough as much as you would like. But anyway, so that's, I think, why there's so much of that can be released still, even for people who can be cleared, even for people who get healings from me regularly, because generally we unblock here, but we don't look for, really fine devices, hard devices from family members there and there, that might not be causing blocks, like big noticeable blocks. So that'll be cool. That's one thing we're gonna do. Is just more of that in all the layers. And an example of how that can help, someone in their survey, they were saying how, they realize that they tend to like agree with their family members or go along with what their family members think. And they, with a certain issue, they agreed more with their husband than with one of their siblings. And so that was progress, not to always go along with their siblings. But the thing is, there's a slight distinction too, where, you exactly what you want and what you desire, as well as, okay, I agree more with that person than that person, and so I think if we remove more of these family devices up here and down here, then you can have more of a feeling of, okay, well, this is what I think. And so, yeah, maybe you still agree much more with this person than that person, and you're basically on the same page, but there might be a nuance that you can bring to the table then, because now you're more aware of your own desires and your own view and your own, intuition, your unique intuition and desires and vision. So, so anyway, that's cool. Also, I think an area that benefited a lot of people was getting rid of family control beings, which we did, which is basically like not only your invasive beings, but being invasive beings that are more usually with a different family member, but they may come through that person towards you and affect you as well. I mean, family control beings is just my catch-all for any beings that are affecting your family members, and often multiple family members. But anyway, so that did help quite a bit. But I think we're going to broaden it just a little bit to like any invasive beings that are affecting you that are maybe more directly associated with someone else. So you might not notice them if you didn't look for them. Because I was noticing one person, they're having problems with invasive beings of a business associate. Like for their work, they have a lot of involvement with this other person, and then that other person has a lot of family control beings. And so as they're assisting this person that's their work client, though the family control beings of that person, of their client, are kind of coming at them, and they're getting like pretty big forceful whacks. And so we'll just look for stuff like that too. I mean, and that's a general thing to do. You can look for any beings that are being aggressive towards you in any way and ask that they get recycled. But you can kind of extra look for, okay, are there beings coming to me and being aggressive with me through coworkers, through business people, through personal life people, through family members, just. But if you feel overwhelmed, typically somebody's whacking you. It could be a person, but it could be invasive beings, or it could be both. Big life changes are not actually necessarily overwhelming. Like it's always uncanny sometimes when people, because of the healings, sometimes people just get into this and their hard work that they've been doing as well, of course. They'll get to this point where they really just they have no damage in their space. They're pretty present, they have no damage, and they're able to deal with a very big life event without the level of pain or drama or fear or whatever that you would normally think they would have. And that's because the pain, the fear, the drama that comes from within, it's not exactly the event that does it. So anyway. So invasive beings, family control beings, etc. We'll be getting rid of those, of course. And then the next big thing we'll do today is clearing avoidance. Because I think the techniques in this set have been pretty effective, but a few people have kind of hit a roadblock where basically their own avoidance. Because we've been, doing kind of, clever assortments of like, I mean, and it's not credit to me, it's credit to the angels, but, they've shown me pretty, clever, like sometimes we do the hips to complement things, or we do back here to complement the work or whatever. But some people, they kind of hit these roadblocks, and that's because they're avoiding something. And so otherwise they would get much more present, but it's like, oh, nope, don't want to deal with that. So then they're like refusal to deal with whatever they need to deal with to get even more present. Means, maybe they're grounding blocks and they become irritable or disinterested or whatever. So we're going to clear avoidance, because that's kind of like adding rocket fuel to your growth and progress, is clearing avoidance. It's a good thing to regularly do, kind of like taking vitamins or something. If you take any health supplements, it's kind of a similar thing. Clearing your avoidance. So we'll definitely do that. All right. So I'm gonna check some comments, and then we'll get going. Oh, and before the next, before the twin set, is the 15th. The 15th, because the twin set is on the 21st and the 23rd of this month. So the 15th is always when, sessions go up, new sets, new group healing sets go up on my payment page, purchase page, on the 15th. So believe it or not, 2 months from April 15th is June. So June sets will go up for sale on April 15th, which is a little mind-blowing for me. But anyway, so if you don't get my news emails, which come out on the 15th when the sets go up, then you could ask to be put on my news email list. I'd be happy to add you. Janet at jwhealing.com. All right. Hey, Janet. Good morning from sunny Las Vegas. Can see and hear you. Hello to you. We are like bright, cloudy. It's supposed to be sunny today. So maybe when I look at the front yard, in the backyard. It's supposed to be not raining for the next few days, but it was really pouring this morning. Hello from Pennsylvania. I am listening while painting my dining room. Ooh, sounds interesting. Good luck. I meant to do my survey, but kept getting distracted. Felt like a deadline. Yeah, sometimes things can be triggering. I understand. Actually, I did get fewer surveys this time than usual, but sometimes that happens when people just feel really good. Then they're just too busy getting stuff done and, living their life, and they're like, so it's, a lot of times it's a good sign when I don't get as many surveys, because it means, I always appreciate all the surveys, but anyway. Hey Janet, we can see and hear you in Evanston, Illinois, near Chicago. 63 and sunny. Wow, 63 Fahrenheit. Dang. Yeah, we're probably low 40s, I would think. Mid 40s, maybe. Excited to work avoidance. Yeah. Yes. Alrighty. So I guess we'll just get started, and so we'll do the 3 minutes of quiet. Towards the end of that, I start the healing, and then you'll see me go like that. That's how you know I started. And then soon after that, I'll start talking out loud. And most of the healing, except for that first minute, I'm talking and explaining what I do as I do it. So you could follow along if you wish, and heal yourself as you listen if you wish. Okay. Oh, and if you could consider giving this a thumbs up if you want, that does help. And I'll give you a thumbs up. All right. Okay, thanks for waiting. So big shock, we're going to start with grounding. So just recreate both your groundings. Become big and wide as all your auras. And bring them up high as your third chakra, which has to do with, that's at the end of your sternum there. And your third chakra helps with productivity, getting stuff done, starting projects, finishing projects, also good sleep, time management. So bring your grounding up high as your third chakra. And have it stay wide all the way down to your the core of the earth. And set the color. You can test out your grounding at red. See how that is for you. Test out your grounding at orange. See how that feels. And test out your grounding at yellow. That feels. And obviously leave it at whichever of those three colors is your favorite. Feels the best right now. Helps you release the most right now. You can make a copy out in front of you of both of your groundings and run gold light through the copy so you're unblocking your grounding. You generate gold light. Well, you set your hand chakras, big hand chakra in the palm of each hand, and your fingertip chakras to a metallic gold color with your thought. And once those chakras are that color, then that's the color they're generating as they spin. And you use that gold light to unblock grounding. Check the outer perimeter of your grounding all the way down to the core of the earth. That's, I call it indie grounding, where you just melt away any connections going into your grounding from other people. All right. Do aura repair. So you have a copy out in front of you of, create a copy out in front of you of all your 17 auras. You have your astral body aura, physical body aura, and then 15 auras called your Wei Qi auras, which help with strong boundaries. And it's part of your spirit. So comb through them all and check for rips, big rips, tiny leaks, deep stab wounds. And you can start repairing them just by running gold light through the area, but you can also use composite copy technique, which I'll do right now. So make an image of a rip and use your intention to have it represent all the rips in your auras. And then you clean out the rip using sticky gold wax. Have the gold light stick to whatever's not you in the rip and lift out the junk that's not you with the wax. Angels, here you go. Again, sticky gold wax. Have the junk form a lump and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. You're also removing any hard objects that are stuck still in those rips. In case you have a few left, just get rid of them. Angels, here you go. And you may have a couple invasive beings still in the way. So if sticky gold wax didn't get them, you can just say, angels, if there are any invasive beings in the way of this repair, can you please recycle them? So then once it's nice and cleaned out, the gold light makes good contact with all the rips and it can fully repair them. You may have leftover hardness in your auras around the edge or internally. So just make big piles of all the hardness left over in your auras, because hardness means that your aura would tear more easily in the future and be more open to invasive energies. So we don't want that. So just make all the piles of the hardness and melt it away. You want flow, not hardness. All this hard stuff. All right. Let's do collapsing gold nets throughout your whole space, just as oops. Sorry, I didn't change my little. We're finishing up aura repair now, actually. So collapsing gold nets, let's do that on your whole space all at once. So you have your 17 auras, you have your groundings that connect you to the core of the earth, and your body to the core of the earth. So make a big cube of gold netting that's bigger than all that, bigger than all your auras, goes all the way down to the core of the earth, and just collapse it in so that you get rid of invasive beings, invasive people, hard objects, energy blocks you're ready to get rid of. Drag all that out. Angel, there you go. Again, collapsing gold nets and collapse it in to tangle up what you're ready to get rid of. Drag it out. Angels, here you go. And then let's check for any little leaks left over. Because you definitely don't want leaking if you're you don't want leaks internally, but you also don't want leaks like in the edges of your auras, especially, I would say, because it really is like a neon welcome sign to invasive beings if you're spouting energy. So just use gold light to repair your leaks. And we mostly did all the work, but you're just kind of double checking for little tiny ones left over. All right, good job. So I think that worked well. It was last healing where we did repair and unblock the creative rings, but we did the 7th chakra at the same time because they're pretty close to each other, and I don't know, it just felt nice. So let's do that again. So your creative rings, 3 gold rings above your astral body head, 1, 2, 3, and then your 7 chakras are in your head and the top of your head. You have 1 for your astral body and 1 for your physical body. So just imagine both of those. If you're reasonably present, then your astral body 7th is inside your physical body 7th. So it looks just like 1 chakra. And you can set those 7 chakras to your favorite shade of purple. They're oriented this way. So this would be the top of your head. And this is a giant enlargement. It's way bigger than the real thing. Because the real thing is like that big, maybe. So it's not in the way of your 6th chakra. It's right up there. Anyway, so you have your 7 chakras, your creative rings, and just go ahead and repair and unblock and melt cords. You can do sticky gold wax on both of them, creative rings and 7th chakras. Have the wax stick to everything that's not you. And move out the wax with the junk. Angels, here you go. Think of the flaps of your creative rings and the round openings of your 7 chakras. And you want those flaps to relax and fall shut rather than sticking out. The edge of the flaps when they stick out is like that. And that would happen if someone's courting you and sending a bunch of energy, or an invasive being is, and it's like an irritated state. The flaps pop open. So just go ahead and melt the cords, especially on your top creative ring, because that affects all of them a lot. So just melt the cords there so that the flaps relax and fall shut. And then all the other flaps should do the same on your lower 2 creative rings and the round opening of your 7th chakras. And if you have family control devices that you're ready to get rid of from your creative rings and or your 7th chakras, you can just go ahead and surround them in gold light and remove those devices. Come to your angels. Angels, here you go. Any control devices, any devices at all, in your creative rings or your 7th chakras from family members, including extended family members, exes. Okay, around those devices in gold light and move them out. Angels, here you go. All right, good job. Okay, so your chakras, you can just check them out. All the major ones along your spine. Check out your physical. You can check them out separately too, astral body chakras and physical body chakras. I think sometimes when people are trying to repair and they're not repairing fully, if you can get more clarity on what exactly is damaged, that maybe can help. So separating out and going, oh yeah, my astral chakras at the moment actually are all repaired, and it's my physical body chakras that have the damage. Maybe, for example. So you can do that. And sometimes if you're unable to repair the damage, is that you have invasive beings or invasive people that are like woven into several chakras at once. And so there's so much energy in there of theirs that it blocks the gold light getting good contact with the damaged parts. And so it gets in the way of the healing, the repair, basically. So, I guess we could do all major chakras at once and just move out any invasive beings, especially ones that are in multiple chakras at once, kind of woven in there. So just freeze those beings and to your angels. Angels, can you recycle these, please? Again, be aware of all your major chakras and any invasive beings that are woven into multiple chakras, especially. And just freeze those with gold light, move them out. Angels, here you go. Can you recycle these? And if you're not confident that you moved out of all of them, or you just want a couple extra, just say, angels, if there are any invasive beings messing with my major chakras, can you please recycle them? Okay, and then of course minor chakras are very important too. For example, if you're having stomach issues, there is a stomach meridian, but also I've found that, tummy meridians, all the meridians, when they are directly in front of your tummy, you can be experiencing some kind of damage there. So like, for example, your CV meridian, you could have some spears thrown into there, and that could cause you to feel uncomfortable around your stomach area. So those are minor chakras that would have those spears in them, within your CV meridian. So long story short, let's repair and unblock all major and minor chakras at once, now that we've done some work on the major ones. So you make one composite copy, can look something like this. This is the basic chakra shape. So make an image, have it represent all of your major and minor chakras, and go ahead and repair it. Melt cords, unblock, melt away blocks. You have invasive beings in the way of repair. You can freeze them, lift them out. Angels, here you go. Can you recycle them? Lift them out. Angels, here you go. Can you recycle them? Angels, here you go. Can you recycle them? Deep breaths as you do this work. Again, we're repairing and unblocking all major and minor chakras at the same time. And if you have any invasive beings interfering with this repair process, you can just imagine them as like some sort of clouds nearby your copy of your chakras, and just imagine those clouds as invasive beings that are messing with your chakras, and just say, angels, can you recycle these beings? And just breathe while your angels do that work for you. And keep doing your repair and unblocking. And I discussed in the intro that you can have a lot of devices from family members in your auras, but of course they can be in your chakras as well, in or around your chakras. So just imagine any family control devices in any of your chakras, and just lift them out. And you can melt them, you could blow them up, you can hand them to your angels. Angels, here you go, whichever you prefer. So lift out family control devices from any of your chakras. Angels, here you go. Melt blocks around the outer round openings. You can have like a hard sort of it's supposed to be flowy. This round opening does have a surface, like the surface of water or the surface of jello, but it can get all blackened and hard, which obviously we don't want. So just loosen up any hardness and melt it away. Loosen up any hardness, melt it away. And we could do more, but I think it would be better, more productive, if we now went to oh, clearing avoidance. Da-da-da-da. So this is the kind of thing where you may some people like that do get my work a lot, like get healings and stuff. They definitely want to clear avoidance because they know it really helps. But you can get into a resistant state, or if you don't know, then naturally you don't want to clear avoidance because you're avoiding it. Right? So, but try to nudge yourself because it really can help. So, I was just looking at my dog who's drinking water. You can't hear any of the sounds in the house, any of the pet sounds anymore because the microphone is so good. So I'm gonna have to narrate what's going on. All right, let's see. Clearing avoidance. So just make a big gold blanket out in front of you and pile up on it everything that you've been avoiding in general for different projects, for different reasons. Like some project that is so important, but you can't even think about it. Put all the baggage out in front of you that makes you avoid it. Maybe there's some kind of career related stuff that you're not even consciously aware of, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to be conscious of it, but what is in the way of you progressing in your career? Or maybe you have some big, project that you really hope to manifest. What's in the way of that, right? What are you avoiding that is slowing down your progress, right? And so that could be one pile of energy or like a whole bunch of mountains of energy, right? And just go ahead and say, angels, is it okay to clear all this right now? That way they'll edit if it's not. And then go ahead and use gold light and melt your piles. Or you can blow them up too. And we're gonna also make some encouragement for yourself so that you can like nourish yourself more and encourage yourself more to clear more avoidance. So go ahead and make energy healing flowers for yourself to, you know, validate that you're awesome and kind of nourish yourself. So make them out of universal healing energy, and you know, they would be like rainbow colors or gold or both, and just whatever vibration that you need right now to nourish you and support you. And say, angels, can you check my flowers? And then give those flowers to yourself. All right, and make more energy healing flowers out of universal healing energy. Set them to the vibration that you need to nourish yourself and encourage yourself. And say, angels, can you check my flowers? And give it to yourself. Couple deep breaths. Okay, so boundaries baggage is specific stuff that people are courting that you haven't cleared yet, that is giving you a significant boundaries issue. So like say you have an evasive person that they tend to cord in a certain spot or certain chakras. They'll cord you. It could be that, well, oftentimes if you haven't, if you're having significant issues washing that person out of your space, it can be because you have certain baggage that you're avoiding. So this is very related to the last thing, clairvoyance, but certain baggage that you're avoiding that person keeps courting. And you're avoiding it, so you're not clearing it, so they keep courting. You know, so it's like this little Achilles heel that you have. So let's make a big old blanket out in front of you and look at, you know, pile out there not abundance, boundaries baggage. So it's energy blocks that you have that people keep courting, and you're not quite seeing it. You know, you're not quite clearing it because you're like, oh, I don't think that's there. So what's the baggage that you're having trouble acknowledging, but everybody's courting it? It's totally creating boundary issues for you, right? And you say, angels, is it okay to clear all this? And then also say, angels, if I'm not ready to clear some of this, can you help me with angel storage? So that way, like if it's better for you that the angels just kind of remove it from your space temporarily until you're ready to clear it, you know, say you're not ready, you know, but somebody keeps courting it on and on and on, but you're not ready to clear it. Well, then that's angel storage is good for that. So, okay, so you already asked if it was okay to clear all of it, right? So the stuff that was too much got removed, and then the stuff that you're just not ready to clear, the angels took away for angel storage. So now go ahead and clear everything that's in front of you. Blow it up, or, you know, melt it away with gold light. So this is, I'm calling it boundaries baggage, but it's baggage that people are courting. And so it's causing a boundary issue it's causing a boundaries problem in your space. And if it helps you to move the blanket further away from you so you feel it less, but you're still clearing it, or you can make like a big gold curtain in between you and that baggage, or a big gold fence in between you and that baggage, just so you feel more comfortable with getting rid of it and really addressing it, as opposed to just pretending it's not there and still having people cord you. All right, good job, good job. Let's see some celebratory butterflies after that one, right? Woohoo! Alrighty. So, oh yeah. Realization baggage. So that's energy blocks that are blocking you from having a realization. Like say for example, say you know, if you're getting whacked, right? A bunch. And so it's totally affecting your day and you're like, wow, you know, and you think, well, okay, it's one of 3 people that's whacking me, or it's, you know, it's somebody work related. But you can't really, you don't look at who it is. I mean, you don't really need to know if it's a one-time thing, right? You just repair it and move on. You don't really have to know. But if it's clearly, you know, like your day keeps getting worse and worse, then probably the person is whacking you over and over and over again. And so it'd probably be constructive to know who it is, even just subconsciously, so that you can have like maybe there's some way that you could just say hi to that person, you know, just on a spirit level, and be like, really, is this what we're doing? Does this really work for you to do this? Does this help your karma? Does this, you know, is there something you want to talk about on a spirit level so that we don't have to be like this? You know, because I know, for example, like my birth father, he'll whack me a lot. Well, he will whack me, but then I'll talk to him and then he'll snap out of it. Because he knows, I've explained a million times that it hurts his karma. And if he were to just, you know, breathe and let his angels clear some blocks, then he could just do something else with his energy that day, you know. And you know, it's just he has a lot of pent up repressed anger, and I'm an easy target, you know. But you know, I just kind of have to remind him and be like, you know, hey, what's going on? You know, why are you so, what's up today? You know? And then, you know, on a spirit level, he'll be like, oh yeah, I just hate you so much, but yeah, this is not good. Okay. All right, you're right. Okay, bye. You know? And then he might not whack me for like, you know, 8 hours or 2 days or something, you know, or 3 days. But you know, so it can help to know who it is consciously. But if you don't know consciously, subconsciously, and just kind of have a heart to heart with the person, I feel like, how does this benefit you exactly? Could you ask your angels about karma and ask your angels what they think about this? You know, because if they're already whacking you, then, you know, talking to them doesn't make it worse. You know, they're already repeatedly whacking you. So, you know, you could just have a chit chat on a spirit level. Be like, look, I know you have a lot of stresses, or I know, you know, I'm not your cup of tea, but there's this thing called karma. All right, anyway, so that was explaining. My God, that was a big explaining. But anyway, so it's an example of a realization. Like you could have a realization that, you know, like recently, 3 people in my family were whacking me. And usually, you know, it's not much of a thing these days because I can sort of talk to each one of them and, you know, so it's okay. But 3 of them were like really going to town on me. And finally I was like, oh, you know, let me talk to them and see what's going on. And it just seemed like they had some invasive beings that were coming at me through them. And so they were just kind of being used like puppets. And these invasive beings were trying to get me to stop, you know, because the type of work that, you know, particularly this set is doing is to help the people in the family to diversify and be less united in fear and control, right? And so that helps everybody except for the invasive beings. It doesn't help them, right? And so the invasive beings um, were whacking me through those family members. So it wasn't exactly the family members. Once I noticed that it was just these beings, then I just had the angels recycled the beings on my request. And then those 3 family members just totally left me alone. For at least a day. 2 of them, for several days since then. And one of them keeps forgetting. but you see what I'm saying? You can have realizations of oh, if you just kind of look at a situation a little more than just be like, oh, that person's whacking me, or oh, or you can have a realization about a project that you're doing and why you've been train wrecked on it and what you could do about it. You can have a lot of different realizations, and sometimes it's just nudging yourself into looking at it, using your abilities, that you've been working, intuition, vision, hearing angels, all that. Or other times it's just, centering yourself, meditating, clearing the blocks in the way of you having realizations. And then, you keep doing that over time, then, it works. So anyway, that is a very long explaining, but let's do it. So just big blanket out in front of you, and dump onto your gold blanket any baggage in the way of you having positive, helpful realizations. So any little mental blocks and other blocks, any denial, any whatever, avoidance in the way of you having your helpful realizations, right? So just pile all that baggage in the way of your realizations out onto the blanket and say, angels, is it okay to clear all this right now? And that way they'll take away anything that's a little too much to clear right now. And then just go ahead and whatever's still on the blanket, just blow it up or melt it away with gold light. And again, I'm calling it realization baggage, but literally it's any baggage, any blocks in the way of you having helpful realizations in your life. All right, let's do that one more time. Oh, well, I guess, okay, let's alternate with flower healing. So make energy healing flowers of universal healing energy, make them, gold or rainbow colors, and tune them to whatever vibration is going to help you to have helpful realizations in your life as soon as possible, as often as possible, as often as is helpful. So helpful realizations, say, angels, can you check my flowers? And then give them to yourself. They'll go wherever you see. It doesn't matter where you put your hands, really. All right, so make more helpful realization flowers for yourself. The angels, can you check my flowers? And give them to yourself. Couple deep breaths. And we'll do it too in the way of the ship direction, SHIP, ship, like a boat in the water. Look at the direction. Okay, so you're the boat in this metaphor, right? Okay, you're the ship, and so your ship is on water, and you want to see which direction should your ship be pointing in order to have the most helpful realizations right now, most helpful to you realizations right now. So that's the helpful realizations direction of your ship, right? The most helpful realizations direction. And then which direction is your ship pointing and traveling right now? Is it that same direction, or is it slightly different or very different? And yeah, that's good enough. And then just, you can leave that up. So the ship direction you're aware of if you need to change course at all, change direction. And if you need to change direction, then just make a big gold blanket out in front of you and put the baggage out in front of you, any baggage in your space that's preventing you from, changing to the ideal helpful realizations direction, right? And just blow up or melt your baggage in the way. And this could be grief baggage, denial baggage, fear baggage, all sorts of stuff, family energy, family burdens. Invasive helper energy. So again, look at, as if you're a ship, and look at what direction would the ship be traveling to have the most helpful realizations right now? And then what direction is your ship currently traveling? And is it different or is it the same? And if it's different, just, maybe you can give a little healing to your ship. Lots of gold light for you as a ship. And just keep giving it a healing until it clicks into the most helpful realization direction for you. This is whatever realizations would be most helpful for you at this time. And just see and give yourself a healing as you as the ship. Heal the water around your ship. And you could say too, angels, please help me to have helpful realizations. All right, good job. Woohoo! Oops. All right. So I had mentioned one of the things that we're working on today, that we did in the last 2 healings as well, or at least the second healing. I'm not sure if it was in the first healing too. But it's to get rid of control beings from your family, family control beings. And those are, invasive beings. Everyone has invasive beings. It's not a good thing, but the idea is to have fewer of them, I guess, really, to get them recycled by your angels. The more present you are, the less of an issue it is. It's kind of like that's how life is unfair. Like the less present you are, the more leaky you are, more your energy is damaged, the more of these invasive beings that you attract. So now family control beings, those are typically invasive beings that might mess with, several people in a family as opposed to just one person in a family. And so since we're trying to help you and we're trying to help your family members too, a little bit actually, because that indirectly helps you, you do kind of get the attention of family control beings when you're trying to make positive change. That's more than, say, your siblings and your parents do. If you're just trying to follow your path and do what you need to do, if it's at all different from your family and your siblings, then that could, put you on the radar of family control beings, and they could, just get in your way and distract you. Like this one person in the survey, it was the little bonus question that I put was about sinuses and just to clear energy from your sinuses, which I think we are actually going to do in this healing. as well, just for fun, because it's pretty cool to remove other people's energy and energy blocks from your sinuses. It's fun. But anyway, in that question, someone was like, "Oh, I'm really having trouble focusing on this question. I'm so distracted." And it was really interesting because they had a lot of their parents' energy in their sinuses. And so it was just kind of interesting. And it didn't seem like they did much with the question. They were just like, "Oh, it's so hard to do that one." And so a lot of times if you find something hard to make time for or do as far as energy clearing and repairing, it's not an accident. It's like it's it could tell you something. So anyway, control beings are like that. They can just be mischievous like that. And if something would be especially helpful, they'll just make it hard for you to do. They'll distract you. So anyway, explaining, as usual, is more complicated than doing. Doing is super easy. So do it. So just imagine yourself, and then imagine, your whole extended family and people you work with and neighbors, etc. And hopefully, do not give a healing to all those people at once. No. I mean, even I wouldn't do that. But you can just be aware of their invasive beings that could be affecting you. So those particular invasive beings that might take a swipe at you or try to be invasive with you, you can see those as, like clouds way above the heads of those people. And then just say, "Angels, can you recycle as many of those beings as possible?" That's basically the whole deal. So you just keep breathing. So we'll do that again, but check your grounding and your major chakras, the flow in your major chakras along your spine. Grounding. Your first layer of your aura. Check the flow there. And again, check for boundaries baggage, energy blocks that those invasive beings are especially targeting and courting, and just melt away. Just say, "Angels, is it okay to clear all this? Whatever's there, just melt it away." So we'll do that one more time. Just imagine yourself, and then imagine at a distance, all your family members, including extended family, all the people that you work with, work for, work near, work around, and then all your neighbors, etc., and social people. And then just way above them, just imagine only their invasive beings that are invasive enough that they would mess with you as well. And say, "Angels, can you recycle as many of those beings as possible?" All right, good job. Woohoo. Good job. Confetti for you there. Double confetti blast. How about that? You deserve it. Alrighty. Let's see. This one's a good one. An oldie but a goodie. Okay, so your shoulders and your hips, you can unblock those at the same time and unblock the aura layers around them, and it's cool and helpful. So let's do that. So again, imagine shoulders inside there, but also your auras around there. And you could say neck and shoulders, really. And then around your hips, your pelvic area, and just around there. Well, okay, so just have a copy out in front of you of your hips and your shoulders and around there. Fuck. And just for fun, we'll also so we can remove family control devices around there as well. So shoulders and hips, any family control devices in that area, neck, shoulders, and hips, pelvic area. Any family control devices that are healthy and gentle to remove right now, just move them out. Angels, here you go. Move them out. Angels, here you go. Couple deep breaths. And any family control devices around your neck and shoulders, in your neck and shoulders, in the auras around there. Move them out. Angels, here you go. Around your hips and your pelvic area, any family control devices in or around there. Loosen them up with gold light. Move them out. Angels, here you go. And since this is a big one and I haven't done it explicitly, I haven't talked about it much, we will also melt cords to other people. I mean, we've kind of done it, but just to make sure. So here's you, here's all your family members in particular and extended family members in particular, and just melt the cords from them to help reduce backlash. And any of your backlash people, just imagine all of them. So family members, extended family members, backlash people, setback people, and just melt the cords going to them. Don't send gold light to them, just melt the blocks that they're corded into, melt the cords while they're in your space and just outside your space. That will take care of the whole cord. So again, imagine yourself and all your family, extended family, setback people, backlash people, which could be coworkers as well, and just melt cords between you and them. Because that way your growth is less disruptive to them if they're not corded to you. And so therefore they're less likely to throw energy and give you backlash for your positive change that you're doing in your life. So, okay, so then we're going to do, we did our melting cords precautionary thing. So now we're going to do just a little more shoulders and hips. Unblocking. Including removing family control devices from the area. And it could be just some hang up that one of your siblings has and they gave a device to everybody in the family. So just remove those. Give to your angels. Angels, here you go. Remove those family control devices. Angels, here you go. And then you can just go up and down your spine from your head all the way down to your toes. Down your arms. Just to make sure you got some good flow after all that work. A couple deep breaths. Okay, so let's clear 2 big blocks. Sometimes we do that right at the end, but why not do it now? So make a big pile out in front of you of any energy blocks that are triggered right now, any energy blocks that are just bigger, but would be really, really, really good for you to clear right now. Blocks that are irritating you on any level for any reason. And just bring up red earth energy and soak them all with red earth energy. Ask your angels. Angels, is it okay to clear all these right now? That way they'll remove whatever's too much to clear right now. Go ahead and melt your resistance, melt other people's energy out so that everything dissolves away. Okay, so as I explained in the intro, this is something that we started doing a little bit. Well, we did a good deal of it in the last healing, but we're going to do it more thoroughly in this healing, in all the aura layers of your regular auras. Your regular auras are the ones with the 7 layers, so astral body and physical body auras. So we're doing this area above your head, all those 7 layers, and below your feet, all the 7 layers below your feet. You know, those aura layers, they wrap all around you. But, you know, the top and the bottom are really key places, because the top, that's where you would bring in new energy, and the bottom, that's where you would release, let go of energy, ground it out. So we can do all those layers at once. Maybe we'll do one at a time. We'll see. And just sticky gold wax those areas, and very top and very bottom of these regular auras, and of all those layers. And have the gold wax stick to any family control devices that are healthy and gentle to remove right now. And move them out. Give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. Couple deep breaths. Yoke. Let's do that again. So the top of all the aura layers, bottom of all the aura layers. Sticky gold wax, the family control devices there, even ones that are very subtle. Use the sticky gold wax to stick to them. Say, angels, is it okay to remove all this? And then just move it out. Angels, here you go. So just notice, are you releasing more after you did that? Comb through your grounding, comb through the bottom of your auras and your groundings. Comb through upward. Are you bringing in more energy because of what you've just removed? And you can notice if you have any positive change that's sort of queued up but hasn't yet come in into your auras and its energy of yours. So it would look like different rainbow colors, and you just know that it's yours. So just use lots of gold light and comb through it. Typically that'll make it start to come in if it's queued up and waiting. Again, this is your energy, your positive change energy that hasn't quite come into your space yet. You probably created it on the astral with your angels. You could say, angels, can you check all this positive change energy out here? Help me clean it out. If not, some of it is not mine. Right. Let's do layer by layer. So 7th layers, top and bottom. Any control devices from family members, and it can be past, well, let's just say any control devices. Okay, so family members, but also from other people, from past lives even. So any control devices, the top and the bottom of your 7th layers, just that are healthy and gentle to remove, just remove those. Angels, here you go. Come through there. Any more control devices in your 7th layers, top and bottom of your 7th layer. Okay, 6 layers. Any control devices from anybody at any time in the top and the bottom of your 6 layers. Just move those out. Angels, here you go. Couple deep breaths. Breathe into your legs. Wiggle your butt if you want. Check out the flow there in the top and the bottom of your 6th layers. Remove more control devices. Angels, here you go. Top and bottom of your 6th layers. Remove more control devices. Angels, here you go. All right. 5th layers. Communication, intuition, peace of mind, hearing angels. Remove the control devices in the top and the bottom of your 5th layers. Give to your angels. Angels, here you go. Remove more control devices, top and bottom of 5th layers. Angels, here you go. 4th layers. Self-love, motivation, enthusiasm, gratitude. Remove devices in the top and the bottom of your 4th layers. Remove them. Angels, here you go. Top and bottom of 4th layers. Self-love, motivation. Remove those devices. Angels, here you go. Notice the flow there. Green is a nice color for your 4th chakras and your 4th layers. Remove any more devices. Angels, here you go. From your 4th layers, top and bottom. All right. Breaths. 3rd layers. Taking action, finishing projects, good sleep. Top and bottom of your 3rd layers. Remove any control devices that you're ready to get rid of. Give to your angels. Remove control devices that are healthy and gentle to get rid of from your 3rd layers, top and bottom. Angels, here you go. 3rd layers, top and bottom. Yellow is a nice color for your 3rd chakras and your 3rd layers. Notice the flow there. Notice the control devices. Remove those. Angels, here you go. All right. Check your hips and shoulders. Spine. Surroundings. 2nd layers. 2nd chakra, emotions, sexuality, sensuality. Orange is a great color for your 2nd chakra. Check the very top and the very bottom of your 2nd layers. And remove any family control devices or control devices from anybody there. Just remove those. Angels, here you go. Any control devices in the top and the bottom of your 7th layers. Just become aware of those and loosen them up with cold light. Give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. Any control devices top and the bottom of your second layer. Just loosen them up with gold light. Give them to your angels. Angels here. All right. So first chakra, nice color for that is red. Bird safety and abundance. So very top and very bottom of your first layers. Go ahead and notice any control devices in those layers. In the very top and the very bottom of your first layer. And loosen them up with gold light. Move them out. Angels, here you go. Again, first layer, top and bottom of first layers. Notice control devices from anyone. Loosen them up with gold light. Move them out. Give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. Again, these can be very subtle, so they're not creating a traffic jam per se, like a block, but they are affecting, they would be affecting like what you can manifest and release and receive. So first layer, right above your head, right below your feet. Notice any control devices, even the subtle ones that are hard to notice. Just notice them. Gold light, let the gold light loosen up these devices so you can move them out. Give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. If you have any invasive beings in the area, just say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings? Messing with what I'm doing. Comb through your whole auras, all your auras, including your Wei Qi auras, which we didn't really work just now, but that's okay. I mean, we healed them in the aura repair. Comb through your groundings and the bottom of your auras. Oh, redo your gold buffer zones. I forgot to mention that earlier. Alrighty. I'm going to check a sample person, so I will wait for a minute. Okay, so I had mentioned earlier that avoidance, if you clear avoidance, is kind of like adding jet fuel. You know, it accelerates your forward movement on your path. Usually, another thing like that is melting resistance. Resistance is like inner, like, I don't know, you're just stuck. Resistance is like you're fighting reality. So, go ahead and just imagine the sort of the inner kernels of your resistance. Like what energy blocks, what baggage is really causing, you know, your wheels internally to just stop. You know, what's the inner core of your resistance? Like not healthy, unhealthy resistance. Like what's the crux of that, the center of that? And say, angels, can you help me with this? Angels, if there are any invasive beings here, can you recycle them? And then you can blow up everything if you want, or just melt it away with gold light. And if some of it doesn't clear, just give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with it? So let's do that again. We could do it in a blanket this time, a big gold blanket out in front of you. Put onto it any energy blocks that are causing you to be in resistance. like kind of grind your teeth on a spirit level, right? Anything causing you to be frozen in resistance, and just use lots of gold light and melt it away. You say, angels, is it okay to clear all this? All right, good job, good job. Yay, you did it. Woohoo! Okay. So we're going to wrap up. So that just means I'm going to look at, go ahead, comb through everything. And we'll just do a couple little quick things as we finish up, including unblocking your spiritual path. Just comb through everything, all your 17 auras. Check out just everything. Creative rings, all your major chakras along your spine. You can align your chakras in case they're kind of oriented funny in different directions. You want them all to be literally in a straight up and down line, and you want them to all be oriented the same way, not like this or this, this or this. So just use gold light so that they click back into place. And the magnetic fields around each chakra too, you can use a wider band of gold light so that those magnetic fields click into place also. Click into alignment. And your spiritual path, it's the road that's just for you. And just check, are you moving forward on it at a nice, pleasantly rapid pace? Pleasing level of progress? Are you progressing in a pleasing way? And just unblock ahead of you so that your progress lasts as long as possible. The pleasing progress. So unblock ahead of you and melt away any heavy burdens that you're carrying behind you. Just melt those away so it's a more fun journey for you. Repair the gold force field around your path so that energetically it's a safer path for you. If you have any invasive beings on your path, just say, angels, can you recycle the invasive beings on my path? And if you have any people on your path, just use a lot of gold light and wash them out. Say, hey, go find your path. Or you don't have to say that to them, just wash them out. All right, and unblock your grounding one more time. You can check your CV and GV meridian. GV goes up the midline of the back and curves around the head to end in the roof of the mouth. And the CV one starts in the crotch in the front and goes up the midline of the front and ends in the tip of the tongue. So just repair them. Burn away any like hard objects that have been thrown at these meridians with gold light. You have any too big blocks that are still bothering you, they're still triggered, just make a big pile of them out in front of you, bring up red earth energy, melt cords going into them from other people and yourself. And just let the gold light Dissolve any resistance, other people's energy, so that they all explode. All right. So, just ask your angels to help you wrap up the healing. So angels, please help me wrap up this healing. Angels, can you please help me to have strong enough family boundaries that I can have all the learning and positive change that I need? All right, good job. You're amazing. Woo, 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 woo. Yay. Thumbs up for you. You're amazing. All right. So that's a healing. And that's a triplet set. So if you have any comments about how the healing was for you, how you're doing right now, if you have any comments about the theme, you could live chat those right now. Of course, later you could post under the video as well, if you wish. All right. Someone says, good evening from Ireland. Hello to you. Good evening. It says, oh, wow. I thought I did clear some energy from my sinuses. Oh, yeah, let's do sinuses. That's right. Okay, so I'm going to do sinus healing. As kind of like a postscript. So I'm actually going to heal the 134 people and their sinuses just for fun. So just imagine like your sinus cavities behind your, imagine your nose and then your sinus cavities in there. And, you could Google a diagram of your nasal passages and stuff if you want. But you don't really, you just kind of vaguely imagine them and just imagine whatever, I suppose you might have family devices in there or devices from anybody in your sinuses. That's possible. So just loosen those up if you have any devices from anybody, little hard objects in your sinuses, and just loosen them up with gold light and give those to your angels. Angels, here you go. Couple deep breaths. And then you could have just other energy from your family or extended family in your sinuses. So you can imagine them however you want, like rocks or potato chips or whatever. Just any family energy in your sinuses, and just remove it. Angels, here you go. Remove it. Angels, here you go. And you can also have grief, like if you're crying, you're grieving, or you're not crying, but you still have grief. You could have some saved up blocks of your grief in your sinuses. So go ahead, just old grief that is healthy and gentle for you to get rid of right now. That's in your sinuses. Just imagine them like, maybe like black rock or however you want to imagine them, but the suggestion, how they might look. And so any grief blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of in your sinus cavities, and just surround them in gold light, lift them out. You could blow them up, you could melt them with gold light, or you could hand them to your angels. Angels, here you go. So grief blocks in your sinuses that are healthy and gentle to get rid of. Just imagine them, surround them in gold light, lift them out. Angels, here you go. So extra gold light in your sinuses. And then maybe just a little bit up and down your spine, a little bit in your grounding, a little bit above your head, below your feet. Angels, help me to wrap up this post-healing. Couple deep breaths. Wiggle your nose like a rabbit. All right. Oh. Okay, cool. I'm glad I remembered to do that. Well, thanks to this comment, I remembered. So anyway, she said, I thought I did clear some energy from my sinuses, but probably not as much as I could. Thank you for that info. Yes. It did seem like it was like it's an interesting angle. You can think of, okay, think of your sinuses and think of, which of your family members is more likely to have their energy in your sinuses? And then which sibling, if you have siblings, which sibling is most likely to have their energy in your sinuses? And that's kind of interesting, And then you can specifically wash out those family members. Saying like you have a partner and then, your in-laws. So which of my partner or his family members is most likely to be in my sinuses? And then just specifically wash out that person that you noticed with gold light. Kind of fun. Okay. And plus, you may notice, you may not, but you may notice that you have a, more enjoyment of smells and, may like literally have, more open sinuses. Okay. I have missed your sessions. I think you're referring to these live streams. Thank you kindly for all you do. I'm so grateful I tuned in today. Cheers. Yes, I'm glad you did too. Yay. Yeah, I don't know. You can I don't know if you get news emails from me, that might remind you, if you don't get those, you can email and ask to get them. Or on YouTube, you can click like a bell next to subscribe, so that YouTube notifies you when I have a new video out or a new event for an upcoming live stream. Maybe that would help. I've noticed recently that YouTube just doesn't suggest things that I'm actually interested in. Like it kind of focuses only on, like, sometimes I watch like legal commentary, like political legal commentary, and like YouTube just, it's like that's all it shows me, So like there are all these good gardening channels that I like watching, and that's actually healthier for me to watch. And YouTube like doesn't hardly ever suggest them. And so I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that one. And so, I don't know, I guess the algorithm, whatever computer, whatever they do, whatever they do. But you may have to kind of work around YouTube's logic and to be able to see my stuff. By clicking that little bell. Hi, Janet from Vancouver, Canada. Oh, also, I think too, YouTube's computers, they note like if you click like on the comments. So maybe if you, put more comments under my videos and, click thumbs up under the videos more and thumbs up to the videos, then YouTube will finally get the point that you like my stuff a lot. Maybe. Hi, Janet from Vancouver, Canada. Hello to you. Hello. Thank you, Janet. I feel great. I really loved the avoidance, realization, resistance, unblocking. It helped me feel really hopeful and unstuck, like a pressure valve releasing. Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, and that's not that long a section of the, of the live stream. So something that you could repeat. Your avoidance, realization baggage. I can say it. Okay. Thank you, Janet. You're welcome. Hi, Janet. Did my friend Theo do well? Thanks. I was looking at him actually just this morning. It was one technique I wanted to make sure worked for him. I think it was the family control devices in the top and the bottom. He's funny, like he likes yes, he did do well. It's just that he responds to like the small surgical work more than like the big stuff. He just likes it more. Like a sort of concise, precise, which, there was plenty of that today. So, but yeah, I mean, he's moving forward faster and he's in more. Before the set, he had a lot of old damage, like to lower chakras and, back here to good karma windows and stuff. So all that stuff is repaired right now. So he's kind of catching up on, bringing in new energy and just feeling, more whole. So I mean, if, he's a friend of yours, it could be interesting to like be around him, see if, I don't know if outwardly there's a lot of difference, but inwardly there's a difference. Someone says, I got today extremely triggered by one of invasive beings. This one is exactly the same as my previous abuser. Is this an accident? I think you're saying that there's a person, an invasive person, and they have a similar energy to the other person that you're having boundary issues with. And I mean, that's why I keep, you grow faster if you think of your own baggage. Yeah, it's about Bob at work or, Joe at work or whatever, but it's not really about them. It's about, yes, they're invasive, whatever. It's bad karma for them, yes, whatever. But they're courting old abuse baggage or old trauma baggage or whatever within you from like past lives that they didn't have anything to do with. They're just kind of pushing your button, And so, no, it's not an accident. The universe will keep giving you people to push your buttons until you get rid of the buttons. So, that's why I keep, trying to get people, don't demonize the people at your workplace that are, invasive, because it's not really about them. If you make it too much about them, you'll think, oh, I just have to work somewhere else, right? That'll fix it. No, because it just, unfortunately, people are invasive. Some people are invasive in a non-aggressive way. Some people are moderately invasive. I mean, there's all sorts of, some people whack and they cord, but some people just cord. A lot of the people you're having issues with are only cording you, but they're cording baggage that you have that's very uncomfortable to you. So it's as if they're throwing a lot of energy because you feel it so deeply and you're very sensitive. So they're not whacking, they're just cording you, but it's it's trauma baggage that you haven't cleared yet. And so you're very aware, it's like all of a sudden you re-experience this trauma because it's being corded. And so that person's energy is kind of electrifying old trauma that you have. So that's why you just always want to, keep working your grounding, keep working your releasing, so that you're releasing the old trauma, you're clearing it, you're melting it away, so that there's less for people to mess with. So yeah, no, it's not an accident. The universe will keep sending you people to trigger your trauma. The idea is, and that's why life is not fair. You would think if life were fair, people that have a lot of uncleared trauma would have extremely gentle lives. And sometimes that is the case. I mean, if your angels know you really just can't handle anything for this lifetime, then yeah, they will give you an extremely gentle life. But if you're strong enough, you're ready, then you'll have some invasive people, because that's like life and the world. And then the idea is to just keep getting stronger, keep clearing more trauma, keep getting more present, more, keep, with your heart chakra flowing, you feel more positivity. With your seventh chakra working, you feel more confidence. With your second chakra flowing, you you don't just feel old emotional trauma, you feel positive emotion, you feel positive emotional strength. So it makes it all very easy, much easier to handle, you know, because you're generating the good stuff all the time. So it's not just old bad stuff that you haven't finished releasing. It's present time good stuff that you're making every day. More confidence, more self-love, more emotional stability, more courage. You know, that's what chakras do. They make current present time good stuff, right? So just keep nourishing your chakras so that you can keep making good stuff, so that the bad stuff that gets triggered from the past, you know, it's not too much. You can clear it because you're getting really strong, and you can just go, okay, fine, I'll let go of that. I'll let go of that. I'll let go of that. Because the impulse, unless you know, like have this training, like the impulse can be to repress it all, shove it all away, you know, and blame the people out there that are courting you. But, you know, that doesn't do you any good. Because then there are more people out there, and your baggage, if you don't clear it, it's still around for people to court. So anyway, hope that makes sense. Thanks, Janet. My sinuses are noticeably clearer. Isn't that fun? I love that. I think maybe my mom, yeah, oh, yeah, you mentioned that. Sometimes when people say, like, how did my relative do, blah, 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 like, I just don't want to deal with that at the time, so I'll just leave the comment. But I do see that comment, so when I'm ready to look at it, I mean, I can't look at it now because I want to look at it in the context of that, and, you know, the person's full name and who they are to you and blah, blah, blah. So I will get to that comment at some point. I mean, if they didn't do well, if they had a problem, I would have commented right away. But they did fine is the short answer, but I want to give a better answer than that. So I didn't yet, but I will. So let's see what else. Oh, I have actually, I can do a garden update. Oh wait, someone's doing chat comments. I'll do more chat. Thank you for this triplet set. There was a lot of eclipse global energy yesterday, and feel much better thinking about it. Good. Okay. So gardening, indoor garden. So I have some photos if I can pull them up. I didn't set this up ahead of time. So indoors, I grow basil and kale over the winter. And last winter, the basil, I mean, not this recent winter that we just finished, but the winter before that, my basil didn't do well. Well, it did well. It did great for a while, but then this is the basil now. This is, oh, it's too big for the screen. Oh, well, you get the idea. Let me see if I can move it up or something. Well, anyway, that's it. It looks like 4 times the size of the size that you're seeing right now. For next time, I'll reduce it so that you can see it properly. But anyway, there we go. Okay. Is that all of it though? No, see, that's half of it. And this is the other half. So it's how many? It's 16 Thai basil plants, and they're pretty old at this point. Well, somewhat old. I want to say I planted them in the beginning of December. So December, January, February, March, and a little bit of April. So they're 4.5 months old. And but they're doing really well. I'm really happy with them. Like I said, the year before they got sick, and so that wasn't good. The Thai basil that I had that winter, they got sick, but I think it was because I had bought them from a store. I didn't grow them from seed. Well, some of them I did not grow from seed, and I think the ones I bought them from like a grocery store, Trader Joe's, and I think they had bugs on them, and so they like little teeny bugs, and I didn't notice, and so. But this year I was very careful. I didn't bring in anything from outside or from a store. It was all my own stuff. And so no bugs. So we just had some last night for dinner, in our dinner. And anyway, so this is the Thai basil, the indoor Thai basil. We like Persian basil, but that's bigger and taller than this. And so this is more compact. So it's easier to grow on my grow shelves that I have, you know. But anyway, so that's that. And it's a bit of a brag because not sick and dying and full of bugs like it was the previous year. The previous year I had to throw them out because was not a good thing. Bad. I had to throw them out. Anyway, so then also the kale. To show you that. Okay, so this is the kale, and I'm sorry, it's a little big for the screen, but it's this times 3, the amount of kale that I have. See, it goes over more. See there? So that's my indoor kale. Not really. There we go. So that's all our indoor kale, and we did have some for dinner last night. And so eventually I'll be able to plant it outdoors, and then it'll really get big. But you know, at this point it's limited by the size of the shelf and the size of the pots. But anyway, it's doing pretty well. We do have it for dinners, so that's nice. So anyway, that's my little show and tell. I hope you are able to see that. But anyway, I'm gonna try to block those now. There we go. Okay, so that's that. My tomatoes they're not germinating really well yet, my tomato seeds. So I don't know if I'm gonna have to re-sow them again, plant the seeds again, which, that's kind of a thing. I think maybe I put too much soil on top of the seeds, and so they're not all coming up. So that could be my fault, but we'll see. It's still too early to be sure. I mean, some have come up, but only some. So we'll see. I may have to redo my tomato seeds, planting them with less soil on the top. Alrighty. So I'll show you the puppies. Okay, here come the puppies. Oops, wait. All right, now I'm going to show you the puppies. All right, so that's little man, we call him, but his real name is Izzy. He's the one that had the dental surgery recently. He's fine. And then that's his brother, Abel, right there, who is doing okay. They both need to go outside right now, I'm sure. But at the moment, he's doing well. So. All righty, you guys are amazing. Take care. Good for you for thinking about your energy. I hope you have a good morning, evening, whatever's next for you. Bye. You're amazing. Here, we'll close out with some butterflies. How about that? You're totally amazing, and you deserve lots of butterflies. Woo woo.